You know, Sony never sleeps, and it shows in this new camera because it takes awesome nighttime photos. So stick around for this. You know, I've been looking around a long time for a camera that does a good job at nighttime because a lot of these cameras, they take grainy pictures or the pictures come back blurry because most small cameras don't do a good job in low light. Well, this Sony takes some of the best nighttime pictures, and even up to ISOs as high as 1600, the pictures weren't that grainy. I'm going to tell you all about that in a second. First, let me cover the basics because this has a lot of really cool features. All right, first off, it's got a nice large Carl Zeiss lens that's going to let a lot of light in. The maximum aperture is 2.7, so that's a nice open iris, so that a lot of light gets in to make your pictures look nice. Now, what this camera is all about is zoom, because it has a huge 15x optical zoom. Take a look at this. The lens goes way out, and you're going to be able to zoom way further than most cameras. Now, you know something that's nice about the zoom? Even at maximum zoom, the pictures are very clear. Some of the other cameras, they're a little blurry at maximum zoom. This one did a very good job with that. Now, it's an 8 megapixel camera, so that's a very high resolution camera. Most of my shots that I did around the house, I usually shoot around 2 to 3 megapixels, but if you want to get creative and shoot some like really high res stuff to make a large print, 8 megapixels is great. There's the back of the camera. You got your zoom, play. This is the button that switches between the LCD and the electronic viewfinder there. Now, on the wheel here, the top button is a display button. And that allows you to, brighten for when you're outdoors, or it brings up a histogram, or it removes the different options and settings so you can see the image you're taking, or, darkens the picture back again. There's a timer. There's some flash options here, and there's your macro mode you can turn on and off. Now, right here in the middle, this is cool. A little button here. You press it, and see the little arrow that's moving there? As you turn this wheel, it moves the arrow so you can really change the different settings. So, this is exposure compensation. You can raise that up a couple or raise it down plus or minus 2. You can go over and change your aperture. So it's very easy to change, actually a lot easier than most of the cameras on the market when you want to get in there and change your ISO, your shutter, your aperture, and the exposure compensation right on the back. So that's a very cool feature that they've included that wheel. And there's also a home button, which shows you your different options, and it allows you to go through the different menus to change all the different features and settings. Here's the wheel. Now you've got your manual settings, which I love, and you've got your scene modes, but they've included something very cool. Right here on the side, there's an ISO mode. Now when you're in that mode, it automatically adjusts the ISO so you get good pictures even in low light. And something cool about this one that you don't see in a lot of the other ones. A lot of times when you raise the ISO, the pictures get very grainy. Well, this one, it allows you to reduce the megapixel so that your pictures aren't grainy. They're just at a lower megapixel. But hey, I'd rather have a nice, clean 5 megapixel shot than a very grainy 10 megapixel shot in low light. So that's a very cool feature. You can take a look at some of these pictures we shot. We shot these indoors, and it was nighttime, and it was very, very bad light. And I think the pictures look great. You see this, and this is a close-up of a soda can. And this one, it was very low light, and it's handheld, and it's clean, and there's no blur or noise at all. So I think the pictures, they look great in low light. Now let me show you the battery compartment over here. Just pops right open. And inside there it uses the Sony Memory Stick Duo, and also uses a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. That just goes right there. Some other cool features about this camera. You can hook this up to your high-definition TV, and you can see the pictures in full HD. That's right, your images can be displayed on that large screen in full HD. That's cool. It also does movies, and the movies, they look pretty good. Here's a movie of my wife. Now, this is 640 by 480, and it'll do 30 frames per second. If you want to save space, you can do a little less than that, 15 frames per second or 10 frames per second. Now, another cool feature, it has super steady shot. Now, what that does is it helps to eliminate any more blur, making this one of the best cameras for nighttime use ever. And then let me show you the flash right on the top here. Now it's got a nice pop-up flash, which is great because it separates the flash from the lens. What creates red eye is when the flash is close to the lens. So having it separate reduces red eye. Now this camera is not just for nighttime use. It does a really, really good job in daytime, better than most of the cameras this size I've seen. And when you're shooting in direct sunlight, they've included this massive shade. I've just attached this really awesome shade. Now this is going to help reduce those glare and those sun lines when you're outside trying to take pictures in bright sunlight. This is a really nice feature. Also, if you're someone who likes to shoot with lights, and you have lights in different parts of the room, that can create glare too. Well, this is going to help eliminate that. Now listen, this camera is a very, very good camera if you're a professional. I went online and looked on the forums, and there's one guy who started using this exclusively for his weddings. So that's a cool thing. If you're a student and you're in school and you need a lot of options, and you need a camera that does a good job at night, because that's the feature for me that I thought was the best in this camera was amazing nighttime images. But overall, one of the best cameras in the 8 megapixel range and this size that I have seen. So, check it out right here at Tiger Direct. If you have any questions about photography, go ahead and send them over to me, logan@tiger.tv. It's a new email address. I like it. Don't you like it, Randy?
Yeah.
Well, I think they need to email me. I'll see you guys next time.